All right, welcome back to the channel. So, seems like Ryan Garcia is in line to fight Devin Haney, as he was ordered to face Javier Fortuna for the interim title, and the winner gets to fight Devin Haney for the WBC world title. I guess that would mean that the winner after that would get to fight Teofimo Lopez for the WBC franchise title. Very, very confusing soup we got going on here, but let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So the lightweight division is a division that is absolutely popping in. It's one of, let me see, it's probably the third behind heavyweight, welterweight, and then lightweight. Is probably the most exciting division in boxing right now. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential stars in that division. Now, the reason why I say the potential stars instead of stars is because I want to differentiate, you know, a potential star like Teofimo Lopez from an actual star like Mike Tyson, right? So Mike Tyson is a real star. Canelo Alvarez is a real star. Not quite sure if Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia fit into that yet. So I will say they have a lot of up-and-coming stars, a lot of promising, a lot of promising fighters in that division. So many promising fighters at a young stage in their career that it seems like it's being a bit of a difficulty to make a fight between them, right? So if you look at the top three, if you look at the lightweight division, the top guy in the lightweight division is clearly Teofimo Lopez, who has the WBA, the WBO, and the IBF titles, and he has a piece of the WBC puzzle with the WBC Super Championship. For the sake of this video, I won't, not Super Championship, the WBC franchise title. Now, for the sake of this video, I won't go into how ridiculous that franchise title is and all of that, but suffice it to say, I don't think much of it. However, Teofimo Lopez definitely does have that, and he won that in a fight against the former WBC champion, Vasily Lomachenko. So it's not like Teofimo Lopez had not beaten somebody that had a that was the best fighter at the WBC at the time. It was just that the WBC and Bob Arum and apparently Vasily Lomachenko, if you listen to what everybody says, decided to play these little silly games of, well, no rematch clause for Teofimo for Vasily Lomachenko, and we don't want to strip Devin Haney, so we'll keep this title and we'll create another. All of that nonsense. It's just created an absolute mess. But I do believe that most of that mess is just caused because of the fact that all three of those guys, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez, are rising stars, and none of their teams, with the exception of verbally at the very least, Devin Haney's team, are being really animate about trying to make fights with the other guys. Now, that I will say to Devin Haney's credit, that he definitely is the most vocal about fighting a Ryan Garcia, fighting a Teofimo Lopez, or fighting somebody else that is in this mix as well, Gervonta Davis, who is the WBA lightweight, WBA regular titleist at lightweight. So, but looking at the actual fight that's ordered, though, Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna is a very, very good fight if Ryan Garcia decides to take that fight. And I certainly hope that he does decide to take that fight because, one, it would be a difficult fight for him because Javier Fortuna, although he's not toting a lot of power, he is a very, very awkward fighter. He definitely is somebody that is, that is well-versed in, what you call, in basketball parlance, we say he's got old man game. He knows how to survive rounds. He knows how to make things difficult. He knows how to make things very, very ugly in there. If you've ever seen him fight, definitely since he's moved up from 130 to lightweight in the fight that he had at 140 with Adrian Granados, you'll just see that he just pretty much has every trick in the book, right? Except for what he does not have is a tremendous amount of power. So if Ryan Garcia is to fight him, a very, an awkward and what I believe to be a dirty fighter in Javier Fortuna, I think that would give him, it could be similar to a fight like, say, that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is famous for saying is his, he famously said is his toughest fight against Emmanuel Augustus, somebody whose name was Emmanuel Burton. Emmanuel Augustus went by the name The Drunken Master, used to fight on Tuesday Night Fights, used to fight on ESPN. Excellent, excellent fighter, but just very, very awkward. You just never knew what he was going to do. Anybody they got in the ring with, he was called. Even if he lost the fight, he was just definitely, he was going to get his pound of flesh out of that fight. And that's how I kind of think about Javier Fortuna. So the fight between the two of them, I think would be great for Ryan Garcia, who has some, defensive deficiencies, right? Which we definitely saw in the fight with Luke Campbell when Luke Campbell dropped him. And that was a Luke Campbell who's not known for being a tremendous power puncher that dropped him. Now, to Ryan Garcia's credit, he got up and he came forward and he wound up getting the stoppage on Luke Campbell. But, that is what happened. Against Javier Fortuna, I could see some difficulties for Ryan Garcia finding him early on. But obviously, man, with the length that Ryan Garcia has, and more importantly, the pop that he has, I think he really has an opportunity to get Javier Fortuna out of there. But it would also, but Javier Fortuna is somebody that has a chin and has been in there and given very difficult, like I said, gave very difficult fights to very experienced and difficult fighters like the former IBF lightweight champion Robert Easter Jr. But, all in all, man, I think that would really be a good fight developmentally for Ryan Garcia. It's somebody that is not going to be like cookie cutter for you. You're going to have to think in the ring. You're going to have to overcome, you're going to have to overcome your own emotions, I have to suppose, when somebody is hitting you low or rabbit punching you or grabbing you and wrenching your arm or holding you down and hitting you, all the things that Javier Fortuna will do to you, right? That could bring about a certain amount of maturity in Ryan Garcia just through having gone through that. Now, after that fight, if Ryan Garcia does that, and then, that's where I like the Fortuna fight. Now, that would alleviate the pressure on Devin Haney to have to fight Javier Fortuna if Ryan Garcia just opts out of that fight, which I honestly believe is what's going to happen. I honestly think that Ryan Garcia is going to tell him no and ignore him, just like Dillian White ignored the WBC when Dillian White was ordered to fight Luis Ortiz, right? Did that fight ever happen? No. Dillian White just ignored it. Same thing when Dillian White was ordered to fight Dominic Breazeale. Did he fight him? No, he did not. He just forget it. Why? Because he's with a big promoter in Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn has a relationship with the WBC just to say, nah. Well, guess what? That's the same thing for Ryan Garcia and the relationship between Golden Boy Promotions and the WBC, right? They have a long-standing relationship and know how to do business with one another. So, I just don't see it happening. And as a result, I think this has been very clear from Ryan Garcia that Ryan Garcia is not even really interested in fighting Devin Haney. He says, let Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez fight it out, and then I'll get the winner. Well, Teofimo Lopez would say, well, let Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight it out, and I'll be here the winner. But at the end of it, it just seems to me like I said at the beginning of the video, a bunch of guys who are early in their career that want to be champions, but they're at the same weight division, and don't want to fight this early in their career. At least their teams don't. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.